You can't really argue there's a better coach right now in college football than Nick Saban. Entering his 15th season with the Tide, he is the most tenured coach in the SEC, coming off his 7th national championship title, his 6th with Alabama. Since the King of Khakis took over in Tuscaloosa, no other program has even been able to come close to what he has accomplished there, especially when it comes to natties. Alabama winning 6, Clemson and LSU 2. The list goes on from there. Our Dennis Dodd sits down with Saban at SEC Media Days. And yes, they talk about football, but they did have to cover one other thing first.
Nick Saban coming off another national championship, but going to give you a chance to brag here. You had your 2nd career hole-in-one in the offseason. What was that like?
It was great. You know, it was a 154-yard 8-iron that just went swish, went right in the hole, never touched the ground, which is unbelievable. But I have to admit that the next time I played that hole, I made a double bogey. So no consistency in performance for me.
So from Giannis to a double bogey on that.
Yeah.
You had, I don't know what the word is, but you had to be grateful for the contract extension that now takes you to 8 years out. What was that like to get that done?
Well, I really have a lot of appreciation for the people at the University of Alabama, the atmosphere and environment they've created, and obviously, you know, having that kind of contract extension is something that makes all of us feel comfortable, makes us feel wanted, lets people know that we're committed to being there in the future, so we don't have to answer the questions of when are you going to retire. So I'm very grateful and thankful, and so is Miss Terry.
That's great. This is your 6th shot now at repeating. You've done pretty well. You're 63-8 in the seasons after winning a national championship. Does the message change, or is it the same after winning a championship?
Well, I think it's the same in a lot of ways, you know, because you're always trying to develop the same sort of characteristics individually with the players to get them to be the best that they can be, and then you're trying to develop the team chemistry to get the togetherness on the team that you need and the leadership to set the example to get the culture that you want. But at the same time, you're always concerned about complacency. You know, and it's kind of human nature to, when you have success, even though success is not a continuum, and you have to continue to do the things that you need to do even better in some cases to continue to have success. Sometimes people aren't willing to do that. They think that we should be rewarded for what we've accomplished rather than moving forward and continuing on. So, and you know, complacency to me creates a blatant disregard for doing what's right. So that's always a concern. I have not seen that in this year's team. You know, it seems like they've done a good job in the off-season program and so far this summer. So we haven't had a lot of issues in that regard, but we have a lot of young players who are going to have to gain the confidence to go out and play to a high level on a consistent basis without having had a lot of experience.
And one of those players is Bryce Young. Everybody wants to know about him. What can you tell us about his progress so far?
Well, we love Bryce. I mean, he knows the offense, he's smart, he's conscientious, he's instinctive, he can make all the throws, he's accurate, but he doesn't have experience, which Mac didn't have much experience last year either. So how he manages that and handles the ups and downs of it, because he's going to have good plays and he's going to have bad plays, and how he can sort of persevere all that and learn, get some on-the-job training. Some of it's going to be good and some of it's probably not going to be so good, but how he continues to move forward through all those things will be really critical to his development, in my opinion.
How does the addition of Bill OBrien as offensive coordinator change the offense?
We don't have plans to change a lot. I mean, every time you hire new coaches, I think they bring new energy, they bring new ideas, but our purpose and our goal is not to change it for the players. So we kept the same system, we kept the same terminology. Now he's going to add things, you know, to that, but I don't think you're going to see a different offense. But we will try to feature the players that we have. I think that's what you want to be able to do systematically, have a diverse enough system on offense that you can sort of tweak it so you can feature the players that you have. That's one of the things that I think we've been pretty successful at, you know, in the last few years, is featuring the good players that we have. So hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing this year.
We talked to John Mechie earlier. Is he the next one, or is he part of a room right now? Because obviously what he did last year was outstanding, but you had the Heisman Trophy winner playing with him.
Well, and we had Jalen Waddle for half the season too, so they were a pretty dynamic duo, the three of them. But I do think John Mechie is a very good player. He's a very mature player. He's a good leader. I think he'll impact the room. I also think he's going to be a playmaker for us. But I also think we have some other younger guys and new guys that are going to have to sort of prove that they can go out there and play with the kind of consistency we need, because they are talented, but everybody's got to prove that they can go out there and do it on a consistent basis.
You love these neutral site openers. You've been playing them for years. What does that give you to kick off the season? Obviously the opponent is Miami. That's a different story. But what do you like about that?
Well, I think playing somebody really good early helps motivate your team all through the offseason. You know, they're looking that we're going to play a national game, a national opponent who's going to be a very good team, who will certainly be probably rated in the top 10, 15, or 20 because they were 8-3 last year and they have a lot of good players coming back. So it kind of keeps everybody focused, you know, throughout the offseason, that, you know, we got to get ready to play a really big game here early in the season. So I like that. And it's been great for our fans. And Atlanta has always been a great place for us to play.
Got a handful of smiles there from Nick Saban with our Dennis Dodd. I mean, he liked his hole-in-one. That was great. You know, and I will actually say, by the way, taking a look at this full screen, Alabama is the favorite to go ahead and run it back to win another national championship. Clemson right behind them. New quarterback there, DJ Uiagalelei, somewhat new. He made a couple appearances last season. And then you get Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, A&M, and LSU after that. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.